Betsy
Uh,
Brill, it's just such a wonderful blessing to be able to meet with you again. I know the first time we started to do a recording, it just didn't work out because I was having internet issues. So celebrating this beautiful book, The Golden Wisdom of Love, Legends, and Legacies. And what prompted you to participate in this books, the second in the series of the uh, from Sandy Rogers and Sharon J. Jordan?
well, initially, I wasn't going to participate. I'm very much involved in my clay sculpture right now. And I just didn't see, it didn't come to mind immediately what I would contribute. And I just wanted to be able to finish my sculptures and stuff like that. And then I was so tickled that Tom Brown is participating. And he wanted me to write his bio for him. And in fact, he wasn't going to do it either because he had broken a shoulder. And he said, didn't see how he could do it. And I said, well, I'll get it together for you. I was actually in Scottsdale. And I said, I'll put it all together for you. You have written essays and things before. Why don't we pick out some nice essays and I will edit it for you? And he says, oh, and you've got to write my bio. I don't know what to say. And so I'm doing that. And then I wrote the bio and it was too long. And I thought, oh, but you can't appreciate Tom unless you know the whole story, right?
Right.
And so I thought about it and I thought, well, I'll just turn his bio into a chapter because he is a living, loving
Ooh,
legacy,
he is a
right?
legacy. Yes, I got to interview him. It was fascinating.
He is a legacy of love. And that's the title of my chapter, which is about the special man who is Tom Brown.
Mm, I just, I never knew that he had a shoulder injury because he never mentioned it when I interviewed him. And it
Uh-huh.
was such a beautiful, just such a sparkly, wonderful human being.
He is. He does sparkle. And I
Yeah,
think that's that inner sparkle of love that he generates, makes everyone feel special.
it's amazing. So when somebody picks up this golden wisdom of love, legends, and legacies, what do you hope that they gain from it?
Uh, well, nice stories about things that are people, I hope, who are meaningful to us as and experiences that are meaningful to us.
The
And that
actual
they become meaningful to others. Like I really want to share Tom with the world. He's 90
you
years old. He's not going to be around forever. In fact, he just was in the hospital. He's probably getting out today with another surgery, a hernia surgery that was sort of an emergency. And at 90, it's scary
it is. It
to go
really
in for
is.
that kind of surgery. But he seems to be doing good. And I'm happy to report. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Well, don't you think that a book like this, and yes, there's many books being published in the world today, but a book like this is about the human connection.
Yes,
It's
that's
about
what it is.
touching lives with stories that impact it. And
Yes.
it's about the connectedness that we all truly have. And I think there's such power in storytelling.
Mm-hmm. And Tom's story is so powerful.
Yes, yes, it's remarkable. It is actually remarkable.
I
So,
think he
in
was
the
always a special man, you know. I do. I mean, but he just had so much going for him, and then for it to all crash and burn, and for him to emerge the way he has is
and
a
that
beautiful.
was pure by choice because he could have gone the other direction, but he chose not to.
He could
Yeah,
have just buried himself in self-pity and bitterness,
yeah,
and he didn't. He
yeah.
became a loving presence.
How awesome.
Described it.
So tell us about your pottery work, that what you're doing.
Oh, well, right now, I'm really not a professional or anything. I'm still a beginner, but became so incensed by the Supreme Court decision that I began doing these torsos of pregnant women, not torsos. I had one I was working on and I finished it. It's going to be like a planter, and it has on it forced birth, and underneath says grabbed by the Supreme Court. I'll send you a picture
I
later.
would love to see that. How
And then
amazing.
I started another one, and it's a birth vessel. And it's not a planter. This one's open at the top. And I originally wanted to put a barrel cactus in it as the head, something really prickly and but I didn't know how it's going to do in this climate. They don't just sell them around here.
Right.
And so I've started thinking about that. And then, so I think I've ordered a metal agave plant that's prickly. And I haven't received it yet to see if it will fit in there and give it that same sense. It won't be a real plant, but it will be, symbolic, kind of like the torso is.
That's beautiful. It's nice to be able to have that creative outlet and be able to do something like this.
Well, it is. It has no audience.
Yeah.
I did it.
I know, but there's something about creating things that just is so
really
rich
is.
and good for the soul.
The second one is a birth vessel, and it's not open. It's just a vessel, and it looks kind of like a vessel with arms that come out, but they're not. They look like sides to like a double-handled pitcher or something, right? And it does have a round thing for the head that looks like the top of a vessel. Only there's lace around where the eyes would be, and around, well, there's bands around where the eyes would be and the mouth would be, because blind.
Wow. Well, send me
blind.
pictures of that.
Well, it's waiting to be fired right now, so I'm real excited about that.
Wow.
And then I play a lot. It's fun that you asked me about that, because I thought, well, maybe if we have time, I'll show you this. This is my house, sort of. This was what I was working on before I got incensed.
Oh,
and the funny thing
gorgeous.
about this is that I worked and worked and worked on it, and it failed. And so I started over and I worked on it again. It made it out of the first firing, which is called the bisque firing. And I had it here, and I was putting on underglazes. That's the basic colors in this case. And it fell over.
And it
cracked.
Broke. Oh.
I don't know if you can see it as well.
I can see that.
Here,
I can see that, yeah.
Right? So I put it back together, and I bisque fired it again, because there's stuff you can do that supposedly, lets you fix things. Well, it didn't fix it. And it came out of the next bisque fire.
And what a lot of work that was.
It was. And then, so one of the, people that work at the studio, I belong to a community studio. So let's put it back together carefully and glaze it. And the glaze will hold it together. And they gave me a special flat part of a kiln shelf so that I could do it and it would be flat. And theoretically, the glazes would have held it together. But I guess when they were putting the shelf in or something, it must have shifted. Because I went to pick it up. I was like, oh my God, I'm at.
But it's almost like it looks like it's meant to be that way.
I know, it's an earthquake house.
The broken house.
And it holds together, because those parts where the glazes were touching, in fact, did hold it together.
They're just not connected together.
It's freestanding. My husband thinks I should put something on the back. He says, one of these days that's going to break apart and you're going to be so upset. But I think I'll be more upset if I put something on it that looks like it's trickery. Right?
Actually, it totally looks like it's meant to be that way. There's a story with it.
So I've had great laughs out of that. And I've got my fingers crossed on my latest piece that it actually comes out and looks the way that I want it. Because that's what I have visions of things, but they don't always turn out the way
how to get them there.
I see them in my mind.
Right. Wow, what a beautiful interview. And I would love to see some more of your work and send pictures of what you're doing.
I will.
That is so awesome. And I think there's something really good and rich for the soul when you can do those kind of creative things and just have that.
Well, it's true. It really has been, because you pound the stuff, and I'm doing hand building. I'm not working on a wheel where they do the beautiful things and build it.
Yeah.
But I'm pounding.
You're like, I'm gonna make this
things, breaking them apart and shoving them together.
How awesome. Well, it's a beautiful work, and that house looks like it just has a story to tell.
Oh, it does. It's full of our life together.
Right.
It really is.
Right. How beautiful. Well, thank you for a beautiful interview, and thank you for being the you that you are, and
Well,
how
thank you.
how you show up in the world. And we'll make a big celebration as this book launches on 11/11/22,
Okay.
and looking forward to that time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I always enjoy talking with you, Becky.
Yeah, it's a blessing. Thank
It
you.
is. Thank
All
you.
right.
Bye-bye.
Gotta get.